Que lo que, Knicks fans? Welcome to episode 10. We in double figures, baby, of Knicks fans wilding. You already know the vibe. We out here, it's Triple M in the building. We back out here wilding, and of course, I'm here with my guy Don Juan. Tell the people it's really good.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, bro? How you doing, man? You know we out here coming out of the Off the Ball Network. Yes, but yeah, bro, like you said, episode 10. Just like that, we're here, baby. But yeah, it's the off season, so I'm just surprised we're here because there's not that much to talk about. But this off season, I'm pumped. Lottery's tomorrow too, so a lot of that could dictate how our off season decisions play out. So I'm pumped.
Let's get it. And I'm joined. This guy is the Wildin' King himself. There's a few reasons I'm gonna miss Alfred Payton, bro, and it's because of this guy right here. My guy, State of the New York Pod. Tell the people what's really good.
What's up, fellas? First time on the show. I appreciate y'all having me on the show. Like you can see, at work, it don't matter. Talking about Knicks, everything stops. For sure. So, but let's get right into it, man. Let's talk.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. Now, welcome to the show, bro.
I'm gonna miss
thank you. I appreciate
coming on,
having me on your platform too.
I'm gonna miss those Twitter rants right here with your whole suits on, mask on, whole scrubs on. Yo, the comments was lit. People like, this man just came out of surgery talking about Alfred Payton. Yeah, man, I will definitely miss those times. But let's get into it right away, like my man State said. And I'm gonna start off with a fire tweet sent out by my guy State. If you're not following him, give him a follow. SKNY State. No, NYK Pod State. We'll put it in the bottom. I'll get you right. I'll get y'all right so y'all can follow my man. But State said, no more stopgaps. You got Chris Paul, 37 years old. Kyle Lowry, 35 years old. Mike Conley, 33 years old, but his body's a 40-year-old. Get me a fresh young point guard who isn't wanted on his current team. State, how you feeling about that? How you feeling about after you sent that tweet out?
Bro, Tony Douglas, Alexis Shee, Moutier, Trey Burke, Jared Jack,
Sessions,
Payton,
Ramon Sessions.
Wow.
Oh, he was so bad. I forgot about him. Oh my God. I had to deal with Phil Jackson, Derek Fisher, Jeff Horner trash, David Fizz garbage, Phil Jackson. So I bring up all these various names. I've been watching the Knicks for 20 years now. Can we please stop with the stopgaps, the old age veterans, and all this nonsense? The Chris Paul train, that train drove by 10 years ago, a decade ago. When we amnestied Chauncey Billups, no, we should have amnestied Amari Stoudemire.
Sure.
So that train is done for me. I know he's having success on the Phoenix Suns, and he's gonna be 37. I'm good, bro. I'm good. And another reason why I'm good is Julius Randle's 26. He's going into his prime. RJ Barrett's 21. Give those two dudes a point guard they could grow with. That's gonna get better instead of declining. You know, it seemed like every time the Knicks get a guy here, that jersey's so heavy. You know, if you ever watch Dragon Ball Z, remember when Piccolo took off his joint or his whole suit, took it off, dropped it on the ground, there was a crater in the ground. Like wearing that Knick jersey is very heavy. And I don't want to invest that into a guy like Chris Paul, or a guy like Kyle Lowry, or a guy like Mike Conley. When you have $60 million in cap space, 2 first-round picks, why you can't get me a young point guard?
But we just seen the season, and you see that Tom Thibodeau don't play these young guys. He's very vet heavy. He plays the vets all day, and if you give him a young point, I feel like Emmanuel Quickly had one of the best rookie dynamic seasons that he could have had, and he played 19 minutes per game. Thibodeau is not riding with these young guys, man, and he was playing Derrick Rose till his knees fell off. You feel me? So I just don't see you seeing $60 million in cap space and get you a young point guard. But Tibbs is not gonna play that young point guard, bro. He's just not.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends how young. I mean, are we gonna go the rookie route? Are we gonna go, the
no,
Lonzo
no.
Ball? Because that's how I would see it. Like you
Oh
said, man, the
man.
IQ with the IQ situation, we saw that he didn't want to give him minutes, even though he was producing. I wish he would have played more. Even when Payne went down, I thought that was gonna be his shot in the lineup. But even still, but I mean, I don't mind the those old guys.
Hmm.
And it's funny that we say old guys; they're like 30 some. But
I'm almost
those,
there.
yeah, facts. But I wouldn't mind those old guys if we just miss out on the Lonzos. If we miss out on that young guy that could just grow with us, like you said, Steve. And honestly, I'm not sure. We just gonna have to overpay some of these guys,
Oh
unfortunately.
no.
And that's what the market's gonna lead to, bro. The salary cap going up year by year. Those contracts that we thought 20 mil was gonna be bloated, it's gonna be 23, 24. Like it's gonna be up there, man.
Yeah, man. I mean,
I,
if you wake up in the morning and want to just have a little argument on Twitter, you gotta hit up SNYK Stay Pod. My man is out there arguing day and night, and it's just the funniest thing ever, man. State, bro. Convince me right now, bro. Convince me, because people on Twitter, they
when,
misunderstand you sometimes. You very
so
basketball knowledgeable right now, but sometimes you be spitting some crazy ish right now.
like imagine you get Chris Paul, 3 year, 100 million, 37. So this means you didn't bring that Derrick Rose,
Mm.
right? Because now you got Chris Paul, right? So if he gets hurt for a long period of time, who's starting in his place?
Quickly,
Quickly.
You hear how that sound though? Like you hear how that sound? So you say it quickly. And don't get me wrong, like quickly got some point guard skills. His playmaking was pathetic at times. His defense was pathetic at times. But he's a rookie, so I'm gonna let quickly rock. But I don't. But another thing I would have to give quickly is he didn't have a training camp last season, and he didn't have a summer league. And remember, COVID was running rampant. So maybe one off-season training camp with Thibodeau and Co. And maybe he could get his playmaking up, and we're gonna get to see him in summer league as well.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe quickly could get that chance. And as far as Alfred Payne is concerned, we know Alfred Payne was just all politics. We know it was politics. It was never about talent because quickly outplayed them all year long. So I don't even want to talk about Alfred Payne. But
Nah, he's
when
done.
when I say young guys, Don Juan, you hit it right on the nose, bro. When I say young guys, I'm talking about the Lonzos of the world, the Devontae Grahams of the world.
Mm.
I take Kendrick Nunn, brother. The Kendrick Nunns of the world. I take Colin Sexton, bro. Just a young guy who, and also think about this. Thibodeau is an egomaniac. He wants control. Like a dad who want to control everything, micromanage. Tibbs is an egomaniac. So it will behoove the Knicks to bring in a guy who's not established yet, so he could follow Tibbs' rule. And I feel like all of those young guys just falls under that umbrella.
Yeah.
I just don't see the purpose in us getting a Lowry. All right. So let me throw this question back at you, Triple M and Don Juan. Since you want, let's stay on the vet topic real quick. You get Lowry or you get Chris Paul, one of those vet guys. What's your next move? What's your move at the wing spot specifically? I want to know the move at the wing spot.
All right, so we get a Kyle Lowry. All right, I'm perfectly fine with Kyle Lowry if we draft a point guard. Now you got Kyle Lowry and Derrick Rose grooming this young point guard for the 2-3 years contract that we have.
Quick question. You said draft a young point guard. How is that young point guard going to get minutes when we have Luka Vildoza and Emmanuel quickly on this roster, bro?
I mean, come on, Luka Vildoza. I mean, we don't know what he is, but I don't. He's 6'5". He can play off the ball, maybe, possibly. Quickly, like you said, his playmaking skills left a lot to be desired, but he's a pretty shifty guard that he can play off the ball as well. So this young point guard, I mean, maybe he doesn't play many minutes. Maybe he plays when Derrick Rose sits, because we can't play Derrick Rose 82 games. We saw how he broke down and all these injuries in this current player. We can't play Derrick Rose 82 games. Thibodeau, I'm sorry. I know you want to do it, but you got to give my man a rest here and there. You feel me? And Kyle Lowry as well. I mean, Toronto was resting him crazy, and he still got a knee injury. You feel me? So, I mean, we have to draft the point guard, and we have to groom him. You feel me? And as far as the wings, we've been throwing names out there, the Norman Powells or the Gary Trent Jr. What we need is a shooter. We need somebody who could shoot and spread the floor. We cannot run it back with Reggie Bullock at the 3. I'm sorry. That would be crazy disappointing. We cannot do that.
Big time.
We cannot do that. You feel me? So the wing position is iffy for me because this offseason is still so early. You feel me? We don't know yet who's on the block. Like, there's just so much to be determined. And the wing position free agency route, it's left a lot to be desired. I don't want a DeRozan or Gary Trent Jr. is just going to cost way too much. You feel me? So it's a lot, man. What about you, Don Juan? What would you do if we go the vet route?
If we go the vet route, man, if you go the vet route, you're pretty much bridging. He's gonna be the bridge for the next year or two, and hope that Randall just takes it up another notch. If he just takes it to another All-Star appearance. If RJ averages 20 points per game, I mean, I'm not expecting 4th seed, but we just gotta play the coast in a sense until we the superstar decides to come to us, or RJ
superstar waiting.
I mean, what are we gonna do? I mean, like I said, if we sign those guys, the free agency market is dry out there. I mean, you said DeMar DeRozan, that's the star, that's the prize of this free agency in terms of talent. Obviously, the other guys are more projections and potential, but if you want a guy that's gonna help your team and will give you 15 and even 20 points per game guaranteed, is DeMar DeRozan. But I'm not trying to go that route. If we get Lowry, is like a bit how Mario said, get a point guard, mold them with Derrick Rose also there to help out. But I wouldn't be mad if the Knicks just take those picks and try to move up and try to hit a home run in the draft.
State, before you go, State, I need to ask you this question because you are spearheading single-handedly the Colin Sexton trade train. All right. You're single-handedly running that train. This guy just averaged 24 points a game on 37% 3-4 assists. The man is a bona fide bucket now. I mean, what are you giving up? What do you feel comfortable giving up for Colin Sexton? He's gonna cost you. He's gonna cost you something.
That's crazy. See, Brock Aller used to be one of the executives for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, and we know how Leon Rose is, man. He's a mob boss, so they probably owe us a favor.
We cashed in that favor though. We cashed it in. They let Obi slip to us. We was gonna trade with them to get Obi, and Obi all of a sudden fell down to 8th. You feel me?
Damn, it's tough. So for Colin Sexton, for me, and I'm getting him with the intent of signing him, and this is the same contract I will offer him and Lonzo, 4-year, $100 million over it. I'm paying the high. The reason why I'm paying the high, when you're done with this, I want you to go look at free agency for the next 4 years. Go look at free agents for the next 4 years and look at all the free agent point guards that's free agents for the next 4 years. The more you look into it, the more your face is going to cringe. I promise you, brother. So I would like for us to go all in on a point guard now, so it would just save us the trouble. And also, people saying pay Julius Randle this summer, right? I was a person who said, nah, don't pay Julius Randle this summer. But I watched Joe Harris, and I'm like, matter of fact, pay Julius Randle this summer because you got Joe Harris just robbing the New Jersey Nets right now. But when you pay Randle, it will behoove you to pay a point guard. You get what I'm saying? Somebody who he can grow with.
Yeah.
You cannot go into next season with Randle leading the team in usage rate. It's just no. They gotta get the ball out of that man's hands and start making him do more stuff off the ball. That's just for me. And I feel like Colin Sexton is the guy. Now, I would give up an unprotected pick for Colin Sexton. I would give up both first round picks this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna take multiple for sure.
You get what I'm saying? Like, if it's to that point, like, if you really believe in Randall, and if Randall's your guy, why not just go all in and get him a guard and get and let's be real. I'm gonna throw this at you, Triple M. And this is another thing why I want Colin Sexton. Game 4, Knicks down 2-1. This is just a future series, playoff series. We down 2-1 to the Hawks. We need a bucket. You giving the ball Alonzo Ball, you giving the ball to Colin Sexton in the fourth quarter.
Sexton, no doubt.
Of course.
So if you giving the ball to Sexton, then I think we should go get that guy who I'm comfortable with in ISO situations. The Knicks led the league in ISO situations, in ISO basketball. That's Tibbs' system. I just feel like Sexton is a good fit.
Yeah, but I mean, realistically, our picks are 19 and 21. Why would the Cavs want that? They're already in the lottery. They're already going to get top 7, top 8. It's going to cost you a mixture of young asset, Emmanuel Quickly and or Obi, and a first-round pick. And I just don't feel comfortable giving that up for Sexton, man. I mean, I don't know how you feel, Don Juan. How would you feel? Let me throw a fake trade scenario. 2023 unprotected first-round pick and Emmanuel Quickly for Colin Sexton. Yes or no?
Oh, no, not for Quickly, man.
Ooh, not for Quickly.
But you said, what was the pick again?
2023. First round, unprotected, and Emmanuel Quickly. Colin Sexton.
2023. I wouldn't mind the pick so much as Quickly, though. Because the pick, I mean, that's when we're supposed to be competing at that point, you know? Those are late picks. Those are late picks. And you get, like State said, you get the guy you want. And he's supposed to go carry with the team. I mean, I like Sexton. I feel like he's kind of built. He's built like Derrick Rose in a sense. I mean, he don't get up there like Derrick Rose did in his younger ages, but he's a guy that, and not only that, he's similar to Derrick Rose. He seems like he could be a Tibbs guy. He's aggressive. He got heart. He's fighting every night, and you put him on a winning team. I mean, that's a heck of a motivation to really be playing with your heart out.
All right, you taking the trade, Brock Eiler, or not? Because you said no, and now you're like convincing yourself. Yes, I need an answer right now. Right now, yes or no?
Yes not no? For Quickly. Not for Quickly. I'll give up picks before I give up Quickly.
So
that's the deal. That's the deal. Quickly in the first round. That's
Don, I gotta shoot this at you then. So you think Quickly will be a 24-point per game scorer next season? Because that's what Sexton just did at 21 years old. That's what it took Julius Randle. Let's place in context. It took Julius Randle 7 years to average 24 points. It took Bradley Beal 5 NBA seasons just to touch 20 points. It took Kawhi Leonard. Did you know Kawhi Leonard averaged 16 points in his 4th year? RJ Barrett just averaged
17 something.
So
it goes down the road. Jimmy Butler struggling, you know.
But you know what it is, fellas? It's that label of empty calories. You know, we need to see it in the playoffs. Devin Booker was in my empty calorie book last season. You know why he ain't in that no more? He got into the playoffs. So you see
he's cooking right now. He's cooking.
But with Sexton, the only argument I can make with Sexton averaging those points is that he's the point guard. He has the ball in his hands all the time. But the fact that he's proven is why I see why all this makes sense. I mean, it's just Quickly. I don't see Quickly as our starting point guard. That's really the reason why. I see him more like our Lou Will or punch off the bench, and that's what I would want him to be eventually. So I don't want to lose that, especially the fact that he was a steal, and I'll probably be on the route to trade Obi before I trade Quickly.
I mean, yeah, I think that's easy to say, but you know, it's gonna cost you. I mean, Colin Sexton just averaged 24 points per game, and he's 22 years old. Like that guy is a bucket getter, you know. So it's gonna cost you Quickly and probably multiple picks, maybe another first round.
Do they want to pay him though? That's the big thing, because you drafted Garland, right? you drafted. Here's why Cleveland messed up, and Cleveland is low key a team that I want them to win the lottery on purpose. Because if you get Cade, that makes Garland and Sexton redundant, so you wouldn't need any of them. But true. Cleveland, you drafted back-to-back seasons small guards. You just seen that. You just seen almost a decade of that in Portland, and it didn't work. Now you got to make a decision. Do you want to pay Colin Sexton, right? Or do you want to pay Jared Allen? And Cleveland is kind of a small market. They own and don't really like to spend money. So it's going
I think tough. Jared Allen's extension is this year, if I'm not mistaken. So he got to get paid first. So
yep.
That's a great point. Right? That's a great point right there by you, Stay. I mean, you're leading the charge, bro. You're leading the charge, but Sexton is gonna cost, man. He's really gonna cost, and there's gonna be a lot of teams interested in that man. I mean, that guy.
When is Colin contract up?
Oh, he came in with Knox, so it's next season.
Oh, next year, yep.
He came in with Knox. Speaking of Kevin Knox,
oh man,
let's talk about a little bit of Kevin Knox right here. He's been kind of the forgotten man here in Knicks Nation. But I mean, I see Stay all the time defending Kevin Knox. He wants Kevin Knox to run. He put up interesting stats last week with some Kevin Knox comparable. Stay, talk to me about Kevin Knox. You giving him or you letting him run?
I'm salty, dog. I'm salty on the whole Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina thing. It's just I'm my fault. Like I don't even mean to mention like Frank with Kevin Knox, but every time I think of Knox, I think of Frank Ntilikina too. So Kevin Knox, Wayne Ellington, Reggie Bullock, Alec Burks, Bobby Portis, Mook Morris. No, I'm gonna leave Mook Morris out of this because he got me named quickly. Mario Hezonja, David Fizdale.
He's just going down. Very late right there.
Mo Harkless. So Kevin Knox comes out his rookie year, averages 13 points, 5 rebounds, shoots 34% from 3. He proceeds in the next 2 seasons to look so trash that I wanted to take him out to my incinerator. And he looked bad. Some is on him because you gotta put in the work, right? So we didn't see him put in the work, but people say he's one of the hardest workers on the team. We damn sure didn't see it on the court because he's always getting beat backdoor on the backdoor cuts. Well, Reggie Bullock was getting beat on backdoor cuts too, but that's a story for another day. So I proceeded to watch Kevin Knox minutes go down, and he barely played. He started barely playing. DMPs. I watched Reggie Bullock put up triple singles for a month straight, and Kevin Knox couldn't get no minutes. No problem. I watched in the playoffs, Trae Young run circles around Bullock, Burks, and Derrick Rose, and
play no defense.
The whole defense, and he didn't try. Nobody knew on Trae Young. Now I'm not putting Kevin Knox on Trae Young. I'm putting Frank on Trae Young. But you let Reggie Bullock play 34 minutes. He scored 0 points. Obi Toppin went 5 straight games, brother. Scored 0 points in 5 straight games, brother. I don't think Kevin Knox has ever done that. But I'm mad about it is because you watch Michael Porter Jr. in the playoffs and regular season. You watch Mikal Bridges. You watch Miles Bridges. And it's like, dog, you just averaged 6 points, dog. You look so... And you look so terrible. So when people coming at me on Twitter and they like, yo, State, you crazy because you defending a bum and I know he's been playing bad. But somebody got to defend him. He's still got blue and orange on. So I'm just the guy who's just going to take those guns. I'm going to take those shots. It's all right. I take it.
Yeah, like you mentioned, man, Kevin Knox came out on fire his rookie season. Just showed a lot of dynamics. I mean, I remember that summer league. I was hype. I'm like, oh, man. Besides the little strip by Zahn, we don't want to go there. But he was just dunking it on everybody, shooting the 3. And he proceeded that rookie season to have a decent year. You know, that Ben Simmons dunk on him. Ooh, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That got me hype. And then he just proceeded, like Stay said, to get worse and worse and worse. How your rookie year was the highlight of your career so far. That is disappointing. But I mean, I just think Knox needs to change the scenery because that motor, which it was a problem coming into the league, it's just off. Like he's unplayable on the defensive end. This guy has two left feet. He cannot slide his feet. He gets blown by every time. And yeah, Reggie Bullock was a disappointment in the playoffs and stuff like that. But I think that's just a Thibodeau thing where he just rides these vets. I mean, and this is like a bigger issue that might arise as the Knicks continuously improve. The stubbornness of Coach Thibodeau. I mean, he just wasn't coach of the year, and we kind of on a honeymoon period with Coach Tib. But he made a lot of decisions that was just like even the common fan was like, why are we still playing Alfred Payne? He checked out last month. You feel
We
me?
all know why.
Oh,
We
man.
we all know why. Triple.
You know that CAA is deep, man. That CAA runs deep, bro. But
Oh,
Don,
guess. Oh, did you know Colin Sexton was CAA?
oh,
All
Mm.
right, continue the conversation.
Let's see how deep it runs, because man, we need some help.
he's coming. He's coming. Well, are you giving up on Knox, Don?
Yeah, at this point, man, I feel like we've been trying and trying, and I feel like especially this year, even though you know Tibbs wasn't gonna play him, I only saw him playing garbage time, except for earlier on in the season where he made a couple clutch buckets. If I'm not mistaken, the one that he stood out most was the Jazz game where he hit a couple threes. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I
he's
remember
gonna
that
earn
game.
some minutes
I remember
now,
that.
but
big time.
it seems like Tibbs went right back and said, "Nah, you ain't playing today. You ain't playing today," and that's how it was all season. And unfortunately, I think his time is up. This was the year that I felt like he was supposed to showcase his game, and you can't develop your game if you ain't getting minutes. So, unfortunately, we got to give up. We got to take that L. He was a lottery pick, and I know those are usually a little tougher to let loose, but we just got kind of like just swallow that pill and move on.
Yeah,
Because look at Frank, we're ready to move on from him. We're gonna let him walk and not even get none. So I
it's,
feel like if we have a chance, see what the market is for Knox and package him and get something back in return.
it's definitely hard pill to swallow, especially like State mentioned. You see the guys behind them, the both Bridges. You know, Michael Porter. I always defend that Michael Porter pick. We could not have picked Michael Porter
Yeah.
with that back injury and him not showing the records and KP being out for that year. So, but it's still tough, man, with the Kevin Knox, bro. But we'll see what it is. And speaking of lottery, let's get into it right here. The lottery tomorrow, as you guys mentioned, or today when the show comes out, or if you listen in after, you might know the results. We don't know the results yet, but the lottery is gonna be huge because with the Knicks having two picks at 19 and 21 and 32, we know there's no way after what we saw this year, Coach Thibodeau is gonna go in next year with three rookies on the roster. So the Knicks are gonna be aggressive here, and they're gonna be packaging, and it all depends who wins the lottery and who's gonna be in the top five picks. State, you go first, man. Who you gonna be looking at for that lottery win, and what results would you like to see?
Ooh, ooh, it's. So I already told you. I told you the one. Oh, it probably was live, or we wasn't live, or we probably
No.
was live. I already told you about Cleveland winning the lottery and how it makes Sexton and Garland redundant. Another team I would want to win the lottery. Don Juan, you wasn't here. I think you was gonna get water when I said this. But the Orlando Magic is another team I would want to win the lottery, and I would want the Chicago Bulls pick to fall back
To Orlando.
yeah. So let's say Orlando, they get the first pick with their pick, but then their Bulls pick falls back to like 10. They wouldn't need that 10 pick because you got Jonathan Isaac coming back, you got Markelle Fultz, you got Cole Anthony, you're about to get Kate Cunningham, who's a point guard. So what you about to do with that point guard?
Harlem Fine is Mo Bamba. You didn't mention them, right?
So you could get a package together, try to get the 10th pick in Mo Bamba, or you try to get the 10th pick with Markel Fultz. Like it's various things that you could do. Another team, and this blew mine because I kind of wanted this deal. Boston already did it, but Kemba Walker in the 16th pick that they sent to OKC for Al Horford, that was mainly for cap reasons, but OKC got that 16th pick because they weaponized their cap. So maybe we could get a deal like that. Another team, though. Well, this is the one that gets tricky. If Sacramento Kings win the lottery, that's when it gets tricky as well, because now you got Kate Cunningham, you just drafted Halliburton, and you got De'Aaron Fox on the max contract.
Right.
It's gonna get crazy.
So any team that already has a starting point guard who gets that one pick, that's going to be tough. But then another thing about the Kings, now let's just stay on the Sacramento Kings, right? Let's say they get the 4th pick in this draft. They already got Fox on a max deal. They haven't made the playoffs in 15 years. 15 years.
Seems like a lot of people highlight the Knicks not making the playoffs. Not the Kings, right?
Market, bro.
Luke Walton's still the coach.
but
and they got Buddy Hield on a max deal too. Buddy Hield.
Yeah,
they do.
He make like 20 mil.
Yeah,
so let's say they get the 4th pick and they be like, we don't want to bring this lottery pick in. They call the Knicks. Yo, man, I know you got Julius Randle, man. You won't pay him, man. What's up, man? What you trying to do with that, man? Now, just suggestion. Now,
What you saying now? What you saying now?
For the record.
Let's hear this for the
Everybody
record.
else on this roster is expendable, fellas, besides RJ Barrett.
Okay.
I will give up my family before I give up RJ. So,
hey, I got that jersey for a reason. You feel me?
Yes, I feel you on that.
But it's mad scenarios. But I want to hear y'all takes, man, about and I know y'all listen to what I just said. I want to hear what y'all got to say to that.
Yeah, I mean, bro, you single-handedly convinced me to care about the lottery. I was about to sleep it off like tomorrow because I'm like, for the first time, I don't care, but the dynamics are crazy because there's just so many teams, bro, that like we've seen it before, like the craziness where like even a team like the Hornets, what if they win and they got Terry Rozier's contract there still that maybe they want to get rid of and want to shed picks or something to get rid of Rozier's contract. I mean, the Knicks and Rozier have been connected for like 15 years or something like that. Like he's always a name being linked to the Knicks. So it's a lot of dynamics for sure with this draft lottery tomorrow. And the Knicks, like I mentioned before, the segment, they're not going in with 3 rookies. So they're packaging these deals. They're packaging these deals, and they're going to be aggressive moving up. I saw why they didn't go for that Boston trade because to go up to 16, I mean, I don't really see
not much of a movement.
Yeah, I don't really see much of a move to move up 3 picks.
Not enough assets. I think the Knicks, they probably called us, and the Knicks probably said to them, yo, you got to give up 2 unprotected first rounders, B. Price went up.
Nah, for sure. Because that Kemba Walker is nasty, man. 37 this year and 38 next year. I mean, that's big, you know. And COVID, a lot of people lost money. So, yeah, Don Juan, what you thinking about this draft lottery?
It's draft lottery. Someone that I didn't hear you guys mention is the Pelicans. I feel like the Pelicans, you know, whether they want to bring Alonzo back or not, they might look to move that pick too. You know, they got a bad contract there of Steven Adams that they might want to throw away. If you're gonna go that route, we're gonna take a pick and bad contract to, you know, package up to even move up even higher. But I mean, I haven't really looked at the lottery and the odds like that. I like what you guys threw out there. The Orlando one, I would love. I mean, I wouldn't mind taking a fly on Fultz. Fultz was great those few games with Orlando before he got hurt. I don't like injury prone players, but he's someone that he just showed me so much flashes that I would take the gamble. And you know what would we trade for somebody like that? I don't think we'll offer much, especially like State said, they're in a situation where they have multiple point guards one of them is going to be expendable, and I think Fultz, he's going to be the one. He's not really their draft pick per se. Like Cole Anthony was their pick last year, and it seems like they're giving him the keys. He was carrying the team towards the end of the season, making some tough plays, and the only point guard that was available. And I wouldn't mind the Markel Fultz. The Aaron Fox is interesting too, but I'm not sure how that lefty dynamic, over Fox and RJ and I mean I don't want to trade Randall, but that's a lot of lefties on the
Well,
on the
that
floor
doesn't
all
really
at once.
matter. That doesn't really matter though. You think that?
Nah, it do matter. It do
I
matter.
don't
Triple
know,
real.
bro.
Bro, they sent Randall to the right every play in that Hawk series, brother. Go with 18 points, 30% from the field.
Yeah,
But I mean, I
yeah,
feel like RJ showed some good
a
right.
bit, but he's still working on it. He's still working on it. That kid, he was so lefty dominant that yeah, he has made improvements,
Yeah.
but it's predictable when you're real dominant with your left, you're always gonna go left. At least you start.
Shit, man. State, man. I just need to get sent, man, right here for the record. You always Twitter beefing, bro. People always coming at you right now. Like for the record, some of these takes, like, were you really unhappy that the Knicks finished with the 4th seed? You mentioned that plenty of time. You mentioned this great draft. They're talking about this might be one of the greatest drafts in a long time. You got a lot of top heavy talent, and the Knicks decided to be good this year. It's been a long time since that happened, and when the year that players are actually good in college, the Knicks are good. But I was very happy though. I wanted to see some winning, but State, you've put your displeasure out so many times, and people always coming at you on Twitter. Were you really unhappy that the Knicks won 41 games this year?
Nah. I kind of look at it from like both sides of the shoe. Like a part of me, yes, I'm gonna be happy that we got the 4 seed because I was just sick of losing my damn self. Like I hate when my coworkers come up to me, "You're a Knicks fan," and that's embarrassing sometimes, bro. Like we losing constantly year after year. Like at some point, like we gotta change the culture, and changing the culture starts with winning, starts with getting a foundation. So as far as like us winning and changing our image and getting into the playoffs, yes, like I'm extremely happy and grateful for that. Like we haven't been to the playoffs when I was in my 20s, bro. I'm 31 now. Like I haven't seen the playoffs in 8 years. And before that, I haven't seen the playoffs since like 2004, something like that. Like it's probably in my lifetime watching the Knicks, I only seen us make the playoffs three times, I believe.
Yeah,
4 times.
sad.
And it's sad. And all those times we didn't make the playoffs, what we did have, fellas, draft picks.
Or money, or cap space.
Or money. So I never really had the chance to like grow with a draft pick. Like, so as far as us making the 4th seed, yes, like I'm extremely happy. Like I spoke about it on my pod. Like I was hyped for us going to the playoffs. Like the playoffs, we in the playoffs first time in 8 years. Yeah, that's cool. Now let me speak for the fans that had their doubts about the 4th seed. The 4th seed was magical, yes, fellas. So let me illustrate this for y'all. And now I want y'all to answer this. We made the 4th seed in a year where it was 72 games. And most of the teams that we was beating, most of their stars was hurt. So we took advantage of that. And we took advantage of a shortened season. Now you're going into the off season where 60% of your roster was 1 year vet mercs. And so this is why people seeing me on Twitter when I say, damn, the Knicks, they played the vets. Let's see if we could put Reggie Bullock, Alfred Payton, and Burks in a trade package for an all-star since they want to get their value up. And people like, yo, State, you crazy. They helped us get to the FC. Yes, you're right. But you cannot trade those guys because they have no value. They bring no value to your team. So since they bring no value to your team, I really don't care about them like that. Mm-hmm. This is why I wanted the young guys to play a little more, even at the cost of wins, because if you want to trade them, now you can get value for them. So 60% of your roster is gone. Cool. So now you basically got to bring 7 new people in. Now you're going into the off season We just watched Julius Randle wet the bag. Let's call it how we see it. He wet the bag. I called Randle a championship third option months ago. This is why he was going crazy. I called him a third option. He's not the guy I want to give the ball to in the playoff game in the fourth quarter. That was evident. So you're going into the offseason with the expectations of being better than the fourth seed from this season with a mediocre roster, right? Now you don't know if you want to pay Randle the max after what you just seen in the playoffs, and you don't have a lottery pick. So it's not even like you could trade 19 and 21 and Reggie Bullock and Burks and get a higher lottery pick. You can't do it. Who the hell is gonna want, fellas, Obi Toppin, who's 23 years old and averaged 4 points, and Kevin Knox, who was DMP'd half of the season, 22 years old, no value, pick 19, pick 21. How are you getting anybody with that type of trade package?
Yeah, I mean, wow. State. I love the passion. I love the passion, bro. I love the passion, bro. I love the passion.
So I just finished that part about the whole vet thing and 60% of your roster. Now you're going into this offseason with no superstar free agents on the market because we all know Kawhi ain't coming to New York. We know this already. So Kawhi's checked more. He's checked off the list.
Got the ACL injury. He might not play next year.
So let's go to 2022 free agency. So you guys want a 35-year-old Jimmy Butler. You want a 38-year-old LeBron. You want all those old guys. I don't want none of those old guys. Let's go to 2023.
Oh, you're going far. You're going far right now. You're going too far, bro.
So you don't want to go. We can't tell the future. None of us got the time stone. But as for right now, we're going into this offseason with so many questions. You got to question the fourth seed because you know every other team is going to get better next season. Yeah. So I don't know who my starting point guard going to be. Bringing back Reggie Bullock is a federal Class A crime.
Come on. I want Bullock back. I want
bringing back Burks, Class A federal crime.
We can't bring both, though. We can't bring both. One.
No, I don't want any of them. No.
Upgrade both. No. Upgrade both.
Thank you. And you don't even have a starting point guard. Yeah. So now it's so many questions, right? And now the floor is y'all, man. I really want to. I'm interested.
That looked like it felt good, bro. It looked like it felt good to just let that all off your chest, man. You look a little skinnier. You look a little skinnier, man.
A little more relieved.
More relieved. No. I mean, bro, you brought up valid points throughout that situation, and I'll be laughing when I see you Twitter beefing. That it'd be funny, but.
It's never personal, by the way. It's not like I never take none of the stuff personal that anybody say to me. If I curse you out, that's just
part of the game. Heat of the moment.
My mans. Yeah. Like I curse my mans out all the time, bro. You are blah 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 blah, and that's it. But we still gonna talk the next day. Like I have no issues with people calling me stupid.
Yeah, we be roasting each other all the time. I'll be roasting Don Juan and that hat. But I mean, you mentioned it earlier, bro. It's all about the foundation. Now, I mean, I was hyped when I made that viral video early in the year when everybody was outside wild and jumping. You know, players are watching this. Like, players are looking, and this league is so star heavy that players can legit force their way into a situation that they want to go to. I mean, look at James Harden. You know, Karis LeVert is a very good player. Jared Allen, very good player. Are they worth James Harden? James Harden is phenomenal. I mean, he was playing on one leg this playoff, but we can't go there. But teams are watching us, and when you constantly lose, and I mean, I even talk about for myself, like, I'm such a passionate fan, but sometimes, and I mentioned this story before, I'm a season ticket holder, you know, and sometimes I can't go to the games, and I try to sell the game. I mean, who wants to go to Knicks versus Cleveland in May? Nobody. I had to go to these games forced. I used to be like, damn, I gotta go to the game today. Like, I was not even looking forward to these games. You feel me? So this year I wanted to go to every game. You feel me? I was like, yo, I'm trying to go to this game. I went to the playoff games. I was hyped. Like, it's just bringing that passion back to the Garden. And okay, like you mentioned, I agree with you about the vets, but this has been a issue with the Knicks forever. You mentioned earlier, Jared Jack, Ramon Sessions. We was all crying like, why are these kids playing? Why are these not kids, veterans playing? Why is Ennis Cantor playing over Mitchell Robinson? That was a long. That was for half a year we saw that
Facts.
happening. You feel me? But now for the first time, bro, is a foundation that's being built. 41-31. We have a lot of issues. Don't get me wrong, but we also have 60 million in cap space. We can address these issues. What are our biggest issues? The point guard position.
Mhm.
A star might not be available. I mean, a star is definitely not available in the point guard position. But what are you gonna do? I mean, this is why this front office, we trust this front office. They haven't let us down yet. They haven't let us down yet. I mean, the first move they did, I was upset. I was like, why are you letting Trier go and bringing Theo Pinson in? And now I might give Theo Pinson a 5-year deal right now worth $5 million. Not even. He gotta get paid $1 million a year to be the cheerleader of the squad, man. But Don Juan, I could go on and on, man. You talk real
Yeah.
quick.
Hey, it's funny because it's like I see a lot of people take the fourth seed and see us like, oh, all right, we should be in the running for at least second round conference finals. I'm like, yo, wait up, man. Like you mentioned a lot of good points, Steve, and specifically the one that I want to highlight is everybody's getting better. The Heat, I mean, Jimmy Butler damn near missed the whole season. A lot of people underproduced. I mean, Tyler Hero didn't have the year that people expected him to have. Duncan Robinson seems like people are figuring him out. I mean, Bam didn't have his best year either. But teams like them, teams like the Pacers, I mean, they were dealing with injuries left and right. The whole Oladipo situation got ugly there, but they got Karis LeVert that could help, build that foundation up. Like everybody's is assembling their core young
Pacers
their
is gonna
young
be good
core.
too, man.
Now what?
Pacers are gonna be good too. They
Yeah,
got
and
a
then the
good
Hornets.
coach.
I mean, the Hornets made their own run, and it wasn't up till Gordon Hayward and LaMelo Ball got hurt that it
Yo,
messed up their run. And even then, they were still giving people a run of their money because they had Rozier producing, Graham doing his thing. Miles Bridges had a good year as well. I mean, a lot of teams have a
yo,
nice
the
young core,
Hornets is
and
tough,
if the
bro.
Bulls could figure something out, the Bulls just went crazy in the trade deadline and gave up a lot of their future. They want to prove Zach LaVine that this is his team. That this is this core of Vucevic and Levine is gonna be our big two. Let's find our big three.
And
But
they
it's
got money
Lonzo,
too. They
and
got
they got
cash
money
too.
too, so they might be well, not that they might be. They are another team that's gonna be potentially, well, not potentially. I keep putting doubts, but they want a point guard. I
Yes,
just
sir.
I know that we're gonna be in a bidding war with them, specifically them, because they are another big market team that hasn't been winning at all. It's desperate, and just like that Vucevic move, that was desperate to me. That's all I saw, and I see them
Sure.
throwing the bag, saying like 100 mil, 4-year deal, Lamelo. I mean Talando.
Yeah, man, for sure, bro. But damn, yo, stay. I had a whole bunch of rapid questions and more things I want to get into, but man, look at the time. We running it up in the time. Stay. I had mad fun with you, bro. Like I said, if you want to Twitter beef one day and you want to talk it up, never personal. You gotta follow
Nah, never personal.
SNYK State Pod on Twitter. State, man. Anything else you want to plug before we get up out of here?
Um, for sure, the lottery is tomorrow. So on Wednesday, fellas, we got to do this again on Wednesday because all of those theories that I just threw at y'all, I want to see what comes to fruition. We
Yeah,
got
man.
we got to link up on Wednesday just to talk about this. But tomorrow, after the lottery, me and my guy Die Hard Knicks, we gonna do a live show talking about the lottery, talking about the possibilities.
Nice.
I named some of the possibilities to y'all, just stuff that's just coming over my brain.
On where?
And,
On where?
on where? On YouTube. Die
On
Hard
YouTube?
Knicks. Just type in Die Hard Knicks or Die Hard State of Mind. A lot of people know where you can find us. And I also share the stuff on Apple Podcasts. State of the New York Knicks Pod. Everybody, where you can find that: Spotify, Stitcher, Player FM, Google Podcast. You can find it everywhere. And yeah. That's why I was. It's only 10:19. I thought you was gonna go for like an hour and a half. I was ready to go, but it's all right.
Yeah, man. You gotta keep it short for the people sometimes.
Hey, you gotta keep them wanting more. You hear me?
Yeah, I mean,
All right,
Wednesday
man.
they're gonna want it more. Wednesday, Don Juan, what you gotta say before we get up out of here?
Hey, just make sure to follow Triple M on Instagram, IG, well, Instagram and IG, Twitter, Don Juan 607 on Twitter. Off the Ball Network, of course. You know, we're brought to you by them, and as well, KnicksFansWilding. You can follow us on IG, Twitter. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Man, those YouTube numbers is going up, but we need some more. We need some more. We need some more. Make sure to like all the videos as well. And yeah, thanks for listening. It's episode 10. You already know Don Juan on this side, Triple M over here. Wait, on this side. But you know we out here, man. Yo, Stay, thank you for joining us as well, bro.
Anytime, man.
You already
Anytime. Whenever
know,
y'all
man.
ask me to come through the show, bro, I'm pulling up, bro.
For
Always.
sure. For sure. We gotta keep supporting the brand. You already know. State of the New York Knicks, Don Juan, Triple M. We getting up out of here. Peace out, people.